Thank you guys, all of you who are joining National Telegraph this early morning in the United States. It's Saturday, January 9th, 2021. Of course, we know whether it's, I said early morning, my bad. It's actually like few minutes to 3 p.m. here in the US. I think it's morning in other areas like Asia, and of course it will be evening, late evening in Cameroon and other areas in Africa and in Europe. All right, thank you guys so much for joining, and I'm quite happy that you are all following this show today. My name is Eric Tataw. I'm going to be your host, and today we're going to talk about this new attack in Cameroon. Very important. I'm going to talk about the release of the sister of one of the separatists in Cameroon's northwest and southwest. But don't forget, we'll also talk about the African Championship that is coming up. It's going to kick off on the 16th of January this month, of course. But what's important is about the attack that just happened, which is very important. That I think some of you have reported, though you have misreported a few people, but you're going to get the details here today. Obviously, I want to thank you all for joining. As we always say on this platform, if you join, remember that you have to share. As a follower of this platform, you have to stay on desk. You have to make sure that you like, you follow, and then you comment and tell us where you're watching from. Let's start by looking at where people are watching from. So just hashtag your country. Make sure you're watching from anywhere you're watching. Make sure you let us know where you're watching. Yeah, okay, somebody's watching from Douala, all right? So we also want to say big hello to all those who are watching from Kumbu. Kumbu is a town in Cameroon's northwest where we are playing this music. Be Proud remix from Dieudonné. You all know him very well. We're quite happy that you're joining, and so wherever you're joining, make sure you share extensively, okay? So good evening as well. Good evening, all of you watching from Douala. Who is watching from Accra, Ghana? Let me see your hands up. All right, let us know where you're watching from. Who are those watching from Paraguay? Anybody from Paraguay? All right, somebody's watching from Gabon. Very good, great job. So once you join, you share before we take on the show. I'll play this music again for a little bit. Morocco, very good. All right, from Boya. So just hashtag where you're watching from. Want to say big hello to all those who are watching from Nigeria. And we'll also talk about the refugee issue, all right, which is also very important. All right, we should have included in our headlines. Those watching from Baltimore, of course, King Echo, you're always welcome on this platform. Dubai, UAE, great job. We'll talk about the fake news about refugees, people claiming that, 800 or 1,000 refugees returned to the restive subdivision of Emojok in Cameroon's southwest region. That is not true. And we're going to tell you what's going on. You see, they're trying to justify with cards, and that is why we have not reported. But we'll give you the actual story today. Actually, some refugees actually returned, but is the number ever 800, ever close? The answer is no. And the refugees duped the Cameroonian government, sent their cards, refugee cards, for a lot of their family members to collect mattresses and other things because they've been told that it's your right. Take it from the government because, the government wants to use that as an approach to say, okay, the war is ended. But that's not what we're going to be saying because everybody knows there's no way the war is ending except the government goes out to negotiate with the rebels. Once more, you're welcome on the show. A big hello to those of you watching from Ghana, Turkey, those who are watching from Boya, right? Very good. Somebody's watching from Bui, Cameroon, where we're just playing this music. Let's get this music and tell you. When I'm coming right back, I'm going to start with everything that you want to listen to. All right? To the business of the day, once more, thank you for joining. You're, of course, joining National Telegraph, where we are going to be talking on a wide range of issues. And of course, including especially the recent attack in Cameroon's west region. Now, a lot of people got to us and said to me personally as a CEO, they said, Eric Tataw, you've not reported the issue in Santa in Cameroon's northwest. And I told them that because nothing happened in Santa. And for those of you who are joining from elsewhere, Santa is kind of like they say Matazes, it's like a border town between the northwest of Cameroon, where there's an insurgency, and the west, of course, they separated somewhere around Babaju. And they said, Eric Tataw, you didn't report about Santa. And I told them, just one quick minute. And we told them, that we didn't report about Santa because nothing happened in Santa. But there's been an attack. And this is coming. Today is the 9th, and the can will be starting on the, just very soon on the 16th. So you put everything together, it's a week to go. And these games will be played in Yaoundé, Douala. Yaoundé is the capital of Cameroon. Douala is the economic capital. And Limbe is, you can say, is the touristic attraction of Cameroon because it's got the sea, it's got the beach, it's got the botanic garden, the zoo, everything. And it's so beautiful. And you go right up, some of the players will be staying in Boya, which is the regional capital of the Southwest, where you have the mountains. So they say there's just a lot of touristic attraction around this area where the Group D matches will be played, including Zambia. Like you follow the National Telegraph, the Zambian national team just dispatched 4 more players yesterday that arrived Yaoundé today, according to the Football Association of Zambia, you already saw it on National Telegraph. So they just came. They are going to try to reinforce their team, according to a statement that National Telegraph read from the Football Association of Zambia. Okay, so they'll be playing in Group D alongside Namibia, Tanzania, and Guinea. And those matches will be played in Limbe, which is one of the cities that is embattled by the Anglophone crisis. For those of you who don't know, Cameroon is involved in an armed conflict. And so we are questioning at our level, National Telegraph, that why is that the government is bringing matches to endanger lives of foreign players? So much so that they are refusing to accept. But look at the attacks that have been going on. And this is what we're going to be talking today. First things first, before I continue, let me clarify a very confusing issue that I know many people will be a little bit confused. There is CAN, some people call it CHAN, which is spelled C-H-A-N. All right, that's important for you to know. And it's called the African Championship. That's the French acronym. And then there is AFCON, which is the Total African Nations Cup. Now, I see somewhere, some people get confused. People think that the CAN is the same like the AFCON. No. And I just say, okay, I was going to take the time to explain today because that is our responsibility at the National Telegraph. The CHAN, which is the African Championship, it is only for local players who play on the African continent. Meaning that if you're a Cameroonian player and you play abroad, out of Africa, you are not qualified to play. So it is a championship for local-based African players. That's African-based players. You must be an African player by birth or naturalization. And at the same time, you must be playing in Africa. That is what this competition is about. So Cameroon is hosting this, and Cameroon will still host the AFCON in 2022. Like you've all heard, it was postponed. They stripped Cameroon once of it because they were not fit because of insecurity. Right now, what they are playing is the CHAN, which of course is the African Championship. Is for local best players. So don't get confused. It's very important. Now we go to the next thing, which is the Total African Cup of Nations, or the Total, so that is called AFCON, which is going to still come. How is this one played? It involves every African player. Whether you play in Europe, in Asia, or you're based in Africa, it's a general selection. This was very important and very, very important because a lot of people get confused. I see people are writing in other places that, oh, AFCON is coming, we have to do this. And the truth is that even the separatists, they didn't even know the difference. They didn't know the difference between these two tournaments. They thought it was the AFCON. And we said, okay, we look at all this confusion and we said it was important, very important, because this is where you can get the most authentic news. And let me elucidate further on the authenticity of National Telegraph, which is the best news organ. I must say, without pride, without prejudice, we are the best. We report facts. And let me tell you why. I'm talking about the attack. You see, there is this issue in journalism that is so important, which is the where factor. Where something happened and the date, the where is especially important. And all media organs who reported, 99.99% of media organs that reported the issue that happened yesterday in Cameroon, which I'm going to come to the details, they reported fake news. And you see on the headlines that people were killed in Santa, people were killed here. No. And they said, why am I not reporting? This is why National Telegraph didn't report. Because we needed to get our facts straight. Because we caught the incident and we knew it was not Santa and we're trying to situate the area. Because Santa is not in space. When you get information, they say it's Santa. You can call people in Santa. You can call people around Santa, around Akum. Of course, it's so easy. We pride ourselves in investigative journalism. That is why when you see articles elsewhere and you do not see them on National Telegraph, start questioning. There will be an issue with the number. There will be an issue with the place. There could be an issue with the date. So you see, like the accident some claim happened in Ediki in the southwest. We didn't report it because it was an old video. You saw many of them put up the videos and later they deleted it because it was fake. It was old. So National Telegraph is the breadbasket of Cameroon and African journalism. Or of course, for those in the Anglophone regions, anything we report from those areas, they're just quite factual. So it's important as a matter of public relations for us to insist on this aspect, that we remain the most authentic. If we don't report news, we are either not ignoring it or we are simply still investigating facts. And so you can now get the first-hand information here. For all those of you who share that it is Santa, and for those of you who insulted that National Telegraph did not report, how do you feel? Anyways, we don't think you owe us an apology. This is just for the records. Now, going further, yesterday was Friday, January 8th, 2021, and there was a strike on a mixed control post in Bajwa, in Babaju, in Cameroon's west region. That incident was immediately reported, or a lot of media organs transferred the incident and attached it to the Northwest. For example, you live in Baltimore and something happens to the mayor of Baltimore and somebody says the mayor of Prince George's County has done this. It's wrong. Baltimore is not and will never be Prince George's County. Bajwa or Babaju will never be Santa. And so the West is so contradictory because the West region is different. The capital is in Bafoussam, while the Northwest has capital in Bamenda. And there is no way you can come online and you think that because you're just picking stuff from WhatsApp groups, Eric Tataw or National Telegraph, we don't operate in that manner. We pay for information. So today, as the CEO of this great and veritable news organ, I am introducing the National Telegraph hotline, which will enable you to earn money. Those who will get the hotline, we're going to put the hotline on. Probably at the end of the show, we'll decide which number to give. You earn money if you give us information because we think that we have this information. A lot of people pick your stuff from WhatsApp and they use it for free. We think you should start negotiating deals on selling information. People do it. You don't need to give your information to people who will not report it properly, to people who will misinterpret it, give you the wrong place, wrong date, who will inflect it, and probably work with government to try to play conspiracies. And that is why we're here today. The issue between Bajwa, Babaju, and Santa and Northwest and West region should teach you a lesson that there is one most authentic media organ, which is National Telegraph. We didn't report it because it didn't happen in Santa. So today, we are telling you it is in the West region authoritatively, meaning that any other person who reported the story as having happened in the Northwest is wrong. That's fake news. And what else do you need as somebody who reads from media organs? Is to get authentic news. Somebody as a media personality, we will not tell you that use Tylenol for something else if it's not what the doctors have prescribed. So that incident happened and involved a truck driver, a tanker driver, and of course his assistant, and 4 men in uniform. So you're all aware. And what we are saying is that it happened in the West region and few days. As at yesterday, it was actually 8 more days to the African Championship. The question now, the answer that begs is, why is the Cameroon government and Cameroonian authorities not negotiating this war to come out of the war? It is barbaric, it is wrong, it is poor. And at the National Telegraph, we think that it is very, very, very important for the Nations Cup, or rather the African Championship, not to hold in limbo, because according to our statistics, a lot of people could be in danger. That is what we think, and it's important that we make this aspect known. So like you've all heard, that accident happened, or the incident happened in Bajwa, in Babaju, in Cameroon's west region, not in Santa and not in the northwest region. That is why we didn't report it. It was breaking news, but breaking news does not mean reporting what is wrong. It means getting the facts. Now, over to Emojok. Emojok is a subdivision in Mani division in Cameroon's southwest, one of the hardest hit areas. Do you know why the Cameroon government is doing a lot of propaganda in Emojok? I will explain to you why. This is because Cameroon's topmost rebel, Sisiko Ayoktabe Jilos, who is the president of the outlaw Ambazonian Republic, is from that subdivision. And this is about diplomacy. And Cameroon thinks that by showing the world that Emojok, refugees are returning to Emojok, they would have successfully destroyed the revolution, because the governments of other countries, they are looking at Emojok as a stronghold, because that is where the first ever attack happened in the Anglophone crisis. When I talk about Emojok, I'm referring to the subdivision here. Remember that Emojok is a town which is the headquarters of Emojok subdivision, and Emojok is also a subdivision made up of mostly people from the Ejagan. When I said the war started in Emojok, I'm referring to the subdivision because the first strike was in Kembong, and Kembong, of course, as you all are aware, Kembong is in Emojok subdivision. So very close to Manfred Central, per se. All right? So it is very important where you have the parliamentarian, one-time parliamentarian, Honorable Suzanne, came from there. So thus, the first strike in the Anglophone crisis started in Emojok, which is not very far from Ewele, the village of Sisiko Jilos Ayoktabe, the president of your outlaw Ambazonian Republic. Now, the government thinks by bringing refugees back is trying to discredit Ayoktabe, discredit the revolution, and what next? But this is our analysis, and this is what we found out. You know, National Telegraph prides itself in authentic and authoritative journalism. When we got that information, we immediately called refugees in Ogoja and other camps. And this is what we're telling you authoritatively. The number of refugees who came there, despite the ceremony that you saw, and it's a sad thing that some media organs don't have the finesse to investigate very crucial stories that involve the liberties of a people. So, let us say this very clearly. The refugees who came there, physically, the refugees are not up to 37. They could be roughly between 37 and 50, just by our estimate. They are not 800. And we explain to you, we're talking here as National Telegraph. But you saw media organs reporting 800, 1,000. That is fake news. They ought to have investigated that story. What happened is that some of the refugees were smart. They sent their refugee cards to their relatives back home for them to take those mattresses and those foodstuffs because they are in need. But they didn't come. A few came, which is a fact, but not up to 50. We have 37, so we're trying to estimate. And let me give you one clear statistics so that you understand. Let me just give you an anecdote. There is nowhere in the world where 800 refugees or 1,000 refugees can decide to decamp, to leave a refugee camp, and it's not a ceremony. The departure is supposed to be at the departure point in Nigeria, not at the reception. Did you see any video in any camp in Nigeria showing refugees going back? It's a ceremony. You get the point. The United Nations High Commission for Refugees is supposed to have administered this transfer. Refugees are international people. They are guided by laws, rights laws. So you cannot just get up as a journalist and you start reporting the fake propaganda from the Cameroon government saying that these refugees that came here, they are 800, and you say they're authentic and you call yourself a media organ. That is why all of them who reported 800, 1,000 refugees, they all got the story about Santa wrong because nothing happened in Santa. How is it possible that you're a media organ, you are reporting 800 refugees, or you are reporting an incident in the West region and quoting that it is in the Northwest? Let me give you a simple example here in the United States. National Telegraph is based in the DMV. If an incident happens in Hawaii, you cannot say it is in Alaska. That is the same thing you people did between Santa and Babaju. It's like Hawaii and Alaska. Let me put it that way. So, or something cannot happen in Laurel, in Maryland, and you say that it happened in Northeast DC. The aspect, the thing that makes your information most authentic, it is the where. Where did it happen? That is a crucial part of journalism. Like you are aware, and we're going to say it here, it's our style. We have taught most of the media organs that were reporting issues in Cameroon to try to go international. You see, most of them now report stories and they put their logos there, like they report stories from Pakistan, from China, because these stories, CNN, BBC, and the rest, like I explained in many of my shows, they don't have monopoly. Imagine that National Telegraph reports a story 10 hours before BBC, but those in Cameroon and other parts of Africa, they decide to quote BBC because they think that is BBC. But we are bigger than BBC in our investigation when it comes to aspects in Africa. Yes, we can take this because, of course, these media organs, they pick up information from the Twitter accounts, how did people know that Twitter banned Donald Trump? Look at everywhere. We were the first in the world to report that story because we followed the Twitter safety Twitter account. So when they banned Donald Trump, they put it there. BBC, CNN, Al Jazeera, everybody, they go to Twitter safety and pick it. Twitter did not call BBC to say we are banning Donald Trump. They picked it from there. And we have taught African journalists to be independent. We have taught African journalists to be independent. That is why we are the first among African news organs not to be quoting BBC. If BBC can report about the banning of Donald Trump's account, we can report because Twitter safety is not a BBC arm. It is a public information arm. Look at my phone. When they were dispatching the National Guard in Maryland, Virginia, DC, when it got activated, I received a message from the state of Maryland, state of Virginia, and even those from New Jersey, you had received it, those from Delaware, because BBC will now report on the same message you received. So you look at, all of them are learning from us. That's why we still insist that National Telegraph is the most authentic news organ reporting from Cameroon as it stands. And I'm saying it as a CEO. It's true. People will tell you that their cars are the best. You have to talk about your product. Excuse me. So the aspect of journalism is a key thing, and when you don't see stories on our pages, there's an issue with that story. It could be the number of persons dead. It could, okay, look at the story in the Mbengwe Road story. Look at the story, the recent accident in the Central region. All the media organs got the name of the place wrong. We wrote the name of the place. We were the first to report, amongst the first, and we wrote the name of the place once, and we didn't edit it, we didn't change it, because that was the name. So the where, when, who aspect, these aspects in journalism are very important. So I'm saying that refugees that came to El Mochop are not more than 50 and could be exactly about 37. Ask anybody. Let it be clear. So that is the game that the government of Cameroon is playing. And some media organs have become so cheap reporting fake news on behalf of the Cameroonian authorities. The fact that you see a video warrants you on these very sensitive aspects to do an investigation. And for some of the people in Cameroon's Northwest and Southwest who call themselves Ambazonians, all of them have activists. Have you asked yourself why your activists have not been able to come and defend this very crucial fact? Because number one, they don't have the credibility, they don't have the authenticity, they don't even have the facts. But they refer to the CEO of this media organ, who, by the way, when he's on Telegraph, is absolutely very, very unbiased, very, very accurate. They refer to him as a media organ that is working for the Cameroon government. If this media organ were working for the Cameroon government, we would have written that 2,000 refugees have come. And mind you, the whole world reads this organ, National Telegraph, more than any other media organ, because they believe that the CEO is kind of like pro-separatist. Let me put it that way. It's a fact. But when he's on this media organ, he remains authentic. So this is the first media organ that is coming to give you the real facts about the situation in Emojo. And those who claim to be the so-called people fighting for Ambazonia. They cannot. They don't even know. And you leave a very damaging information going out there. Now that I've said this on this platform, which is, by the way, very authentic, you see all of them will start carrying it on. Please always remind yourself to quote us. This is our information. All right? If you can quote BBC, you can quote National Telegraph. Most of you pick up stuff from our site, from our website, because, by the way, we are very authentic. We are a reference to most news organs, including the BBC and the CNN. They look up our stuff, and then when you report it, you don't quote us. I'm saying as a CEO, that's got to stop. Start trying to be charitable with your way of doing things and trying to be kind to people who give you information. All right? You don't pay us to bring you this, and we think that it's about time you stopped being unnecessarily jealous and agitative towards a media organ that is giving you authentic information. Look at how all of you are ashamed. Most of you, let me say most of you, because you were sharing stuff that is Santa, and some of the separatists were even claiming the responsibility that they are the people who carry the action in Santa, whereas they didn't even know the location of the stuff. For example, it takes me to talking about the release of Chris Ano's sister. Chris Ano is so-called separatist leader, whatever of communication, but he has been sacked. About between 10 days and now, National Telegraph has been consistent on the fact that Field Marshal has defected. And we wrote that Field Marshal got a negotiation with the Cameroon government, and he took money, and some of his fighters left, and he was remaining in Lebialem with few fighters trying to do propaganda for Chris Ano. And then, less than a week after this media organ puts out that information, the Cameroon government carefully releases Chris Ano's sister, the sister to Field Marshal. And Ambazonians, like you call yourselves, you don't think about the fact. Is this media organ magician? No. Have we ever reported about Field Marshal defecting? No. So why is it that only when we reported about him defecting, or that he has abandoned the revolution and that he negotiated with the Cameroon government and took money, they immediately released his sister just 7 days after our stories, and we're consistent on those stories? This now plays into play. It brings you an idea that the sister was part of the deal. If I had said it, maybe they would not have released the sister. But it is just something for you to put the facts together. It is not a coincidence. It's a fact. He negotiated, and his sister was part of the deal from the money he took. And it is clear, people who are arguing, how is it possible that a media organ reports consistently about somebody that defected, and 1 week after the Cameroon government releases the person's sister? Let me tell you something about the Cameroon government. Cameroon government cannot and will never arrest somebody in relation to this Anglophone crisis that you are all facing, that has plagued Cameroon, and then releases the person in this manner. Once they give you a motive, like a reason for arresting you, they never release you until this issue is purely down. The arrest of Chris Ano's sister was just a stepping stone to get Chris Ano to destroy the Ambazonian revolution, like you've seen, and he successfully did it, and they did their negotiation with the Cameroon government, and then now they release the sister. You cannot argue me. Those of you who were arguing, and you see some of them writing and jubilating, but forgetting about the fact that this media organ already got intelligence 10 days before this release and was reporting repeatedly. There is no way the Cameroon government can charge you, keep you for long, and release you. Just imagine the conspiracy that would have been out there if they released Sisi Kwayoktabe Julius. That is President. Okay, let me just reply to one Charles Sommer, which is very important. Charles Sommer says, we said Field Marshal escaped to Nigeria. That is not true. We have never, ever reported that. That is kind of like hallucination. That's an imagination from the Sako surrogate who think they can use that to try to discredit us. We never, in no way, reported that. We said some of his fighters defected and went to Nigeria. We didn't say Field Marshal went to Nigeria. And we went under that story. We said Field Marshal himself was still remaining behind there with 6 soldiers. We said it repeatedly. If you say that, we said, thank you. Some people can say it. Exactly. We said Field Marshal, his fighters, the post is there. His fighters defected and some ran to Nigeria, while Field Marshal stayed in Lebialem. If you say that, we said that Field Marshal went to Nigeria escaped to Nigeria, please bring us the video and bring us the clip and the screenshot. It's simple. Okay, now let us go straight on this. Remember last time when something was coming up seriously, Chris Anu fabricated a story that Field Marshal's wife was arrested in Chang. Chang is a village or a town in Cameroon's west region. Don't get confused. There's in Chang, in Mamfe Central, in Southwest, in Manu Division, as there's Chang. The Chang in the west region is spelled D-S-C-H-A-N-G, while in Chang is spelled N-C-H-A-N-G in Mamfe area. So they said, just a minute, that Field Marshal's wife was arrested. Field Marshal is one of those who were fighting, or one of those who was fighting for the Anglophone cause, but he abandoned. We have said we are not going to change that because that's the fact. They claim that Field Marshal's wife, was arrested. And then I came and said it's not true. And a few days after, you saw Field Marshal, the wife, and other people taking pictures in one palace like that. So these people, they're in charge of misinformation, misleading people. And we are saying here categorically clear that the release of Chris Anu's sister, which by the way is a good thing to get somebody released from jail. We appreciate the Cameroon government for that move, and we thank God for her freedom. But that doesn't stop us from analyzing the facts on the table. Her release is connected to a negotiation done between Field Marshal, Chris Anu, and the Cameroon government. And now she has been released. A lot of people will say, okay, no, it's the human rights lawyers who did this, and so on and so forth. Of course, you must need a lawyer as a cover-up to get released. Government don't just release people like that. And whether or not you accept it, it's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that this platform reported repeatedly that Field Marshal has defected, and 1 week afterwards, they released his sister. It's not a coincidence, it's a fact. Please don't forget, if you're joining, make sure you share. Let's know where you're watching from. Invite everybody on the platform, and we're quite happy that you're joining. All right? So it is very normal for those who don't want the truth. For example, most of you who are surrogates of Samuel Sako Ikome, you know this is the truth, but you try to fight it. But every time something keeps showing. Take for example, yesterday we wrote about Dr. Eric Titaw Takwi, who by the way is in the Konenge principal prison and is a bona fide surrogate of Samuel Sako. If you know those who have been writing letters from the jails, Takwi is the topmost. He writes with Tassan Wilfred. On the 5th, he was in court, and he told the judges in the military court that he is not Ambazonian, he's Cameroonian, that he's never belonged to the NCNC. And then when we reported it, some people came and said, oh, this is childish, it's a lie. How do you call a representation of somebody's declaration reported by a media organ? It's the same like Trump says he will not attend Biden's inauguration. We posted it. CNN is posting, everybody is posting. Do you come to refer to Trump, to anybody posting Trump's declaration that he's not attending Biden's inauguration as childish? No. But why do some of you who call yourselves Ambazonians, you are contesting something that somebody said in open court? Is that how you're supposed to build your own country? Takwi said it. People have it. It's a fact. Just the same way Sisiko and Co went to court and they declared to the Cameroon government that they are not Cameroonians, they are Ambazonians. We reported it. You people clapped. Why is it that when somebody goes and declares that he is not Ambazonian, he's Cameroonian, you are angry? Why? Because the story is linked to Sako. Oh yes, you have to link stories. Michael Flynn and Powers accounts, Twitter accounts, they were deleted. They were immediately linked to Donald Trump because they are friends with Donald Trump. You must link somebody to somebody. That's how news is reported. You know, somebody says bring the court report. All right, I want to ask you one thing, and very, very important. It's very crucial important. Can you bring us the court report when Sisiku and Co declared that they were Ambazonians? We just reported without videos, without pictures, because that's their declaration. Okay, the only way you can ask us to prove this otherwise is by you bringing a contrary statement, writing, Takwi should write to the Cameroon government that he is Ambazonian. We'll still publish it. So it is not my responsibility. Take for example, there's another issue that we reported about Samuel Sako Ikome being jobless, the jobless pastor in Maryland. His surrogates came online and said, this is childish. Let me explain to you one thing. And we are saying this today. I have authorized as a CEO of this great national telegraph, the most authentic, that anybody who comes there and sees a story that is hashtag NT, means National Telegraph. It's a company. It's not Eric Tataw. That company is run by many people. In Dubai or UAE, you have Emerson Kinga. In Uganda, you have Sarah Masuri. In Gambia, you have Patience. You have everywhere we have reporters. If you come there and you see a story written as NT and you refer to it, you mention Eric Tataw, we will not warn you, will automatically, permanently delete you there. Talk about NT, don't mention Eric Tataw. That is not Eric Tataw's page. That's a National Telegraph page. It's very, very, very important. With that said, Takwi Mortita, Eric, declared that he was a Cameroonian, not an Ambazonian. Yannick Sikot had declared, Nso Poncha declared, Nick Santos declared, and Wonja declared. All these are people who support Samuel Sarko economy. It is very, very important to follow this trend. And when we define Sarko by an adjective, jobless, I see a lot of his surrogates are mad. Why are you mad? That's the question. Journalists are allowed to use adjective. If you can call Trump, CNN can call Trump administration criminal because that is what they think and that's what people know. You didn't go to fight CNN. All right. Now, we'll ask this question on National Telegraph. This is an analysis. It's a show that we're analyzing. No, nobody is going to be blocked, please. No matter the insult on a live show referring, so long as they are talking contextually on this issue, they are not going to be blocked. Right? You know why? Because they are referring to me. You can insult me on this show because this is my face, it's my presentation. I will take it. If you call my name here, you insult me, that is fine because I am now talking because this is my show. Like Don Lemon, you can refer to him on the show. But when there's a National Telegraph story, you don't have the right to call the name of a particular journalist because you don't know who is writing that story. It could be Emerson Kinga. It could be, I have a lot of reporters back home. So with that said, let us go to the facts of the matter. I'll ask a question. If a company runs out of cash, liquid cash and assets, is it right? Can you describe that company as bankrupt? Can somebody write yes or no? We want to ask this before we continue. If a company runs out of cash, liquid cash and assets, is it right for you to define that company as bankrupt? Please, we'll give 30 seconds for all our followers to answer yes or no. Can you describe a company, that thank you so much. So if a company is short in cash and assets and can no longer meet up with their bills, can you describe such companies as bankrupt? Thank you. Please, your answer in 30 seconds before I will continue this analysis. Can you describe such companies as bankrupt? Bankruptcy? Can you use the adjective bankruptcy? Bankruptcy? Okay. Very good. Somebody said insolvent. Very good. Thank you so much. Okay. Somebody has used insolvent. Insolvency is the same. It's a synonym to bankruptcy because that's a very good because solvency is a power, financial cash. If you are not solvent, you are insolvent. So somebody has also used the word. So the answer is yes. For those who are saying no, means that you don't know the meaning of bankruptcy. That's why companies declare bankruptcy. They no longer have cash. They've gone bankrupt. And this is journalism. Journalism is not some soup or some Maggi or some salt you put in your pot in your private kitchen. Or it's not a dinner with your date. It is something for public consumption. And National Telegraph will not and will never be responsible for your insensitivity or for your inability to understand simple words. Yes, if a company is unable to meet up with a lot of things, they have gone negative on cash and a lot of things, they have become insolvent or bankrupt. You get the point, bankruptcy, So, and the next question I want to ask, thank you. The next step is insolvency. Very important. Thank you. The next question I want to ask, if a journalist picks up a document from a bank showing that, or if a journalist gets information that this company can no longer pay workers, cannot do this, is it right for the journalist to use the word bankruptcy, insolvency, or any of those words? Is it right? Yes or no? That's the question I want to ask. Yes or no? Yes or no? That's the question I want to ask. I see a few, like 5 people trying to insult us. It makes the balance of media very important. If we didn't have these people trying to get at us, then we will not be on media. We need them to survive. Thank you so much, Ojon Quint. I want to see your answer. Thank you, Ralph. Gentle. Thank you. Will it be right? Thank you. Let's go. Very good. Monique Bank says yes. And let's know where you're watching from. Hashtag your area. Sam Key say yes. Yes. Okay. Everybody's saying yes. Ojon Quint says yes. Yes. Thank you. Violet says yes. Next person. Who is saying yes? I'm reading your comments. I might not be able to read all. Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you so much, Victor Che. Victor Che says yes. It's same as first yes. Watching from Dubai, the person says no. Okay, the other person says yes. So everybody can say your answer is as obvious as mine. So will it be okay for a journalist to describe such companies as bankrupt? Yes. Okay. Okay, I'll ask another question. Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, was the richest man in the world. All of a sudden, shares for Tesla went up, and Elon Musk, the CEO for Tesla, gets more money, and his wealth in assets, cash, and everything goes more than Jeff Bezos more than Jeff Bezos. The next question I want to ask you, is it appropriate for a journalist to use the word or the phrase to use the adjective richest? Like Elon Musk is now the richest person in the world, or the world's richest person? The answer is, what's the answer? Yes. So this now boils to one simple analysis. If you can use the word bankruptcy or bankrupt on a company, and you can use riches to a man whose wealth has swollen overnight, can you not also use the word jobless to somebody who is not working? Can you use the word jobless to somebody who is not working? Can you use the word or the adjective idle to somebody who just sits? The Bible uses the word idle, jobless. That an idle mind is the devil's workshop. Bankrupt, of course, yes. Thank you, Jodone. You can use the word, you can use the adjective jobless on somebody. So the people who come and comment and say that, the people who come and comment and they say that you're using jobless on Sako, it means you are childish. No, they're the people who are childish, or they don't understand journalism, or they don't understand the adjective jobless. If you are not working, it is you are jobless. It's a modest definition of somebody who's not working. It's a modest definition. I would have even said the person is jobless and lazy and idle. You can use any of those adjectives. So the only place that the Sako surrogate can confront National Telegraph is not on the use of joblessness, it's on verifying the facts. If truly what this media organ is saying about this so-called leader is true of ours. The word is jobless. Everybody hashtag Sako is jobless. You can do that. It's your right. You're on media, and what we are saying here is the fact. It is not wish hunting. It's just an adjective. They call Trump controversial. They call Stoneheart. You get the word, like you call Pobia power tight. Power tight is an adjective. It means somebody who is from power. You call Mussolini a dictator. Dictator is an adjective, and it's a noun as well. You get the point, dictatorial. So these are the little things I wanted to clarify. Don't get it wrong. You know, adjectives are used in journalism. That's why the word dead person, dead is an adjective. The noun is death. D-E-A-D is dead person. It means the person is no longer alive. It's an adjective. So let us get all these things clear. So if somebody can use dead before person, which is a noun, an adjective describing the noun, why can somebody not use jobless before another person? And why is it that you can easily read that there was a dead person here and you are comfortable, and because the word is simply replaced that there's a jobless person here, there's a jobless person in Bamenda. What's the difference between a jobless person in Bamenda and a jobless person in America? You don't want to take the facts. Yes, Sako is jobless, plus lazy, plus idle. You can rant. You can't take it away from me. We remain authentic. And we are saying it in the United States where Sako lives. You get the point? Let us be very clear on these particular words. You can't take it away. The only thing you can do, I still want to repeat, we are the most authentic news organ reporting the Anglophone crisis. We beat BBC, CNN, Al Jazeera on facts. The Anglophone crisis and issues in Cameroon, it is our niche. That is why we are the only media organ that did not report that something happened in Santa. Every other person reported, but it was wrong. And some of you came to question us that you are unable to report what happened in Santa. And I asked the president, what happened in Santa? You get the point. So you can see that all of your arguments are just fetish. The only advice I will have for Sako Surrogate is that we're a media organ. We'll keep on reporting issues. Thank you. Somebody, you can change the name. Dakota is jobless. You can put it, Mary is jobless. Eric is jobless. If you say Eric Tataw is jobless, okay, I have to come and defend myself. No, sir. I'm not jobless. I'm the CEO of National Telegraph. So it is not about the fact that jobless came before somebody's name that you think that that person is childish. You get the point? The election was a lost election for the Republicans. True or false? It's lost. Lost can also be an adjective. It's a lost election. You get the point? When you say Indian division in Cameroon Southwest region is an oil-rich princess, that is, you are describing oil-rich is a compound adjective. Oil-rich, hyphenated. You can say Eric Tataw is a creme de la creme journalist, means the best of the best. Those are adjectives. You must use them to describe aspect. Limbe is a tourist attraction. The word tourist attraction becomes an adjective describing Limbe. Though tourist is a noun, an attraction is also a noun. But in this case, these two words come together to be an adjective for the city of Limbe. Boya is a city of friendship. Go to all states in America. When you go, they have what they call rest center. You enter there, you must see a description of the state. What is Indiana? For those of you in Indiana, how do they call your state? Those of you in Virginia. So you can't carry your primitive attitude. you show you're so much uneducated. Some of you at the Sako camp. People laugh at you around the world. That a journalist is reporting, they don't come and say that, why do you call him jobless? Say that he's not jobless and tell us where he's working so that we can verify. That is your responsibility. I am not supposed to give somebody a job when the person, if Sako did journalism and is qualified, we can give him a job. Do you know why people on LinkedIn, they give their profiles? John Bako, check him out. Do you know why people put their profiles? Do you know why companies ask you to give a curriculum vitae? Because they need to know where you're working or where you worked from before. So it is important. These are things that you must know. I am not responsible. I am not the US government. I can't give Sako a job because he didn't do journalism. So the fact that I'm saying that somebody is a fact. You have a jobless, okay. Can you refer to Amado Ayijo as president of Cameroon? Can you refer to Obama as president of the United States? Can you refer to Biden as president of the United States? No. That is why the adjective president-elect is used before Biden's name. It's not an insult. You can make all the noise, you can insult Trump. Trump is the president of the United States. Obama is a former president. The adjective former is in front of Obama's name. But they still call him Mr. President as an honorary title. So you cannot come online and they say somebody is jobless and you start getting angry, infuriated. With who? With who? You can't do that. You can't do that. It is wrong. It diminishes you by coming to call an authentic article from a journalist childish. It makes you go, your level becomes so low. So this is a lesson to Sako Surrogate. We don't hate the man. We just know he's jobless. We know he's a con man. You see, CNN used to call Trump con man. They say Trump evaded taxes. Trump has the right to come and defend himself. They said Trump is a con man, that he's not paying taxes. He comes, he tells them that no. He uses the business law because the law provides for him to go that way. Did you see they bother him about the taxes? No, they did not. When the rioters, from the beginning, Trump was supporting the rioters. When they entered and they desecrated the US Capitol, Trump came and said, he described them. that those are vandals. It's an adjective. And that is a fact. You cannot argue it. So you see how stupid and ridiculous you can become, how childish you can become. Let me be clear. The CEO of National Telegraph is a well-schooled journalist. He earned his degree in journalism. He practiced it. He's been doing it for the longest time. We're among the best news writers in Africa and in Cameroon. That's a fact. The fact that some of you would have the number of the CEO of National Telegraph does not give you the effrontery to think that you can just be writing and insulting and trying to be angry because they report something about somebody you think you are supporting that does not favor you. That is not our business. We will never be responsible for Sako's joblessness. We are only responsible for reporting reality. He's jobless. It's a fact. It's an adjective. What is this? This is bottled water. But you can use bottled in front of water to refer to describe the kind of water, the adjective. So it's important for people to know. That's why they say it's an air-conditioned room, because there's air conditioning in the room. All right? So these aspects are very important, and we felt that we should educate people on this. And we're always going to continuously educate you. Don't get offended, please. Nobody hates Sako. He's jobless. He's a con man. He's a former pastor. And we can only say these things because it is news. And don't come and tell us, is this the only news you have to report? You know, there's something they call in journalism gatekeeping. I am the only person who can decide what news passes on National Telegraph because I'm the editor-in-chief, editor at large. And then, joined to that, I'm the CEO. National Telegraph can have a CEO, but the CEO cannot decide what passes if there's an editor-in-chief. Go and read who are gatekeepers in journalism. As you are all aware of, most of you who are in the Anglophone crisis, and you're talking on behalf of the separatists, I'm the only trained journalist who is on social media on the Anglophone crisis, who is pro-separatist. Let me put it that way. I'm the only trained as of now. And I am the only practicing journalist who runs a full-fledged media organ, a website. You can check us out on www.nationaltelegraph.net. We run a media organ, including a radio station, a web TV, and just now we're about launching a US-based magazine that will focus on African policies. So please, I am not, and we will not be responsible for your insensitivity. When we're going to school, we didn't stop nobody from going to school. And so we want to sound this very clearly. This is a response, which is, by the way, is journalism all the same. CNN can make a statement on issues, and this is a statement we are making. You cannot hold us responsible for the joblessness of your leader. Hold us responsible for misrepresenting facts about a leader you support. If you say he's jobless and he's not jobless, please detail us where he is working, and we'll immediately apologize and correct that once we verify and find out that is the truth. I am not and will not be responsible for all of those your childish comments on this page. Like I've said, you can talk about our facts, we will never block you, but any day henceforth that you misrepresent this media organ by mentioning the name of its CEO while the media organ is reporting and hashtagging NT, talk to NT. Don't talk to Eric Tataw. This page is NT. It has workers, people post from Cameroon, Uganda, UAE. So it should be very clear. And I've given them visas to do that because some of them understood, some of them already understood the nitty-gritties, like Emerson Kinge, Patience, Sarah. Of all of you who make noise on social media and you even write to disturb us, we are the only people who really employ people. You come and read news that we pay from our pocket. It's free. We give you authentic news. All of you were saying Santa. Nothing happened in Santa. Do you now see why we are the best? But all the media organs people read and they come and copy from us, they said Santa. If we had reported that Babaju, all of you would have said Babaju. Nobody would have said Santa because you people come and look up. The fact that we didn't report that story, everybody got it wrong. So please, let us be reasonable. Let us be reasonable. Absolutely reasonable. Thank you. Somebody is just referring to them there. I don't know National Telegraph is a legal entity. Yes, we're a legal entity. And that's why our office is situated at the New Hampshire Business Center 6495 New Hampshire Avenue, Hyattville, Maryland. We are on 209A. That's our room number. Yes, we're on the second floor. Please, we use this opportunity to let you know that we love you all. We ask our reporters to reply to you because we think that some of you became increasingly irresponsible. So it is very important, absolutely very important. And let me also say something. If you read an article from National Telegraph, don't bring your Ambazonian stuff and start talking about who is being killed, who is not being killed, and who is responsible. You talk about the article and complain about a National Telegraph fact. Don't bring Eric Tataw in your comments on National Telegraph. If you do that, it's an instruction. I'm the CEO. You'll be permanently deleted. And mind you, we are never ever going to beg followers like you. We'll beg followers who are reasonable. There are people who inbox me. Let me tell you an example, right? I wrote an article. I made a mistake. I used living, Leaving, instead of Liv. It was a mistake, an oversight. Somebody called me from Sweden, circled that from my website, and sent it to me. And I am the one who wrote that story. And I said to the person, I cannot thank you enough. Because CNN, let me tell you something. When I talked with Massa, the lady who vaccinated Joe Biden, she was happy. And she asked me to send her a screenshot. I sent the screenshot, say, oh, you spelled my name correctly. And she said that some media organs, I don't want to call them, they spelled my name wrongly and they had to call me to apologize because everybody makes mistakes. You get the point? So we think that we should be responsible. We should build ourselves as Africans. Honestly, I think some of you are unnecessarily jealous of me and our media organ, which is not fair. The fact that I'm reporting against somebody you support cannot warrant that level of jealousy. You get the point? That level of fakeness in your comments. As you can see, it's never broken us. Since we concentrated on the National Telegraph, we're reporting a lot of news. We have moved from 50,000 when I was on the Eric Tataw page supporting Ambazonian and only talking about my live shows were only there, and I was not doing a lot of National Telegraph. And when I talked, I said, okay, I brought all these people, Emerson Kinge, Sarah, I took guys from Africa, elsewhere, Cameroon. I trained them on how to report news, and I gave them the passcode. They made them administrator, and then they started publishing. We moved from 50,000 to over 100,000 followers now. I'm talking something of the last 2 months because people need to see your page. So we basically, National Telegraph has lost a lot just trying to make sure that we satisfy you people. So you have to respect this platform. It's the most authentic. Look at what happened in Santa Barbara. Everybody reported fake news, but we are the only media organ who is just giving you authentic news. So it's very important. Very important. I meant to look at what did not happen in Santa that people reported, as a matter of fact. So we thank all of you. I think that at the end of this show, we've finally had a brotherly conversation. And there are lines that you should not cross. We're a legal entity. Address your problem to National Telegraph at ntelegraph@gmail.com. You have the right to comment, talk about our stories, object them. We are going to put you the facts. We'll have our team reply to you. Twitter safety replies to people. Why does people say that? You know the strength of Jeff Bezos? Jeff Bezos replies to everybody, the Amazon CEO. If you complain about a product, buy a product. If you want to try it, buy a product, complain to Amazon that the product was not good. Jeff Bezos will personally reply to you. You get the point? So I don't even do that. I have people reply. Sometimes I do. Trust me, if you think you are nasty, we can be nastier. But there is no monopoly of being nasty on social media. Don't get to our balls. Telegraph is always going to let you know this. You know, I built this company in 2013 with respect, with objective. That's why I have struggled to keep it out of Ambazonian politics. A lot of you threatened me. I should not use the word rebel. I didn't listen because I'm doing the right thing. Some say you should not use Northwest. That is the right thing I'm doing. I'm helping you. Those of you who claim you are rebels that you're fighting, I'm trying to authenticate your case. Because when BBC, CNN, Donald Trump, anybody picks and says you use the word rebel, they know you are reporting facts. You are not taking sides. You are not being partisan. You cannot ask me to report that the military killed 50-something people or thereabout in Gabu, and you want to go and call Gabu Northern Zone. Where is Northern Zone on the map? What do you want? You want the world to know that people have been killed, your brothers have been killed in the Anglophone regions. And I hear some people say, oh no, we are not Anglophones. What are you? Go and read go and look up the word Anglophone. Anglophone, it is the exact definition of Ambazonians. And Ambazonian is an Anglophone. In fact, Anglophone is supposed to be synonym because you're fighting to restore the Northwest and South, which is the English regions. So I think there's a lot we can say, but usually I don't want shows to be very long. So I want to thank all of you who have joined this show today and say God bless you. I'm very grateful that I found the time to really explain these things to you. Please, respect the veterans. I'm a trained journalist, a bona fide. Sometimes some of you come and say, oh, this quack journalist. I know that some people it's just social media talk. I was one of the best in my batch. I'm still the best. You see the way we write. We've trained a lot. People read from us. They have been so inspired. Like before, you see some of these media organs, they report that 2 people have been killed in Bamenda, and they just live in like Northwest. So where is Bamenda? So somebody is reading from Uganda will know that where is Bamenda. So you see a lot of them now, they have started using our format. They will say Bamenda in Cameroon's Northwest. You know, Bamenda in Cameroon's Northwest, because they are reading from Telegraph, they are learning. They will never accept. You see very soon most of them, they will start putting hashtag on their headlines and putting Cameroon, putting the flag, because that's what we have introduced. Nobody was using it. No news agency in Africa, and even BBC channel, they were not using it. But when we had a meeting, we decided, because we were inspired. You get the point. So everybody is allowed to use it. But when you use it, each time you see it, always remember National Telegraph introduced that on social media. God bless you. Thank you so much. And remain blessed and have a happy weekend. Happy Saturday. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you once more. God bless you. Bye-bye.